As I ease into 2026, one of the goals that I've had is to become a YouTuber. Now, in the beginning of 2025, it was really just to be creative and make creative videos. And this year, it's sort of shifted to being more consistent and providing value for the viewer and being able to become monetized and be helpful, I guess. I'm a helper. Taking these 2 weeks off of work, which this time of year really feels like the only time where I'm truly able to unplug, or at least the most I'm able to unplug throughout the year at all. And for the most part, I really can just relax. And the mental background that's happening when it comes to work is minimal. The same thing happened last year at this time. I really was inspired and I felt really creative, and I'm really proud of the video that I put out during that time because I did a lot of filming and I made storytelling and I just put a bunch of time into editing it, and I really like it. I think that I put it out in February. It was probably by the time I was done editing it, it was in February. With that, it's not necessarily New Year's resolutions that come or bring the shift as much as a sort of mental reset that comes from being able to unplug from work. And the inspiration that comes along with that last year it was amazing, and this year has been really amazing. Now, tomorrow is tomorrow the 5th? It's Monday, and so this is the last day of the holiday break. I've really been able to rest. I've felt really creative. I have come up with some things and ideas for the new year that aren't resolutions, but they are things that I think I can sustain, because it's not just during New Year's that I try to implement things that will be healthier. Like, I regularly try to drink more water, and it feels like every few weeks to a couple of months, I have a resurgence of an effort to try and drink water. And I know that just wanting to drink more water really doesn't do the trick. So this water bottle I've had and I've been using, and I like it. By the way, look at this sticker. Can you see it? Okay. Yeah, bougie native. I don't drink water out of it. A water bottle really does make a difference. And I've gone through several water bottles, and this type of water bottle is what I know helps me drink water. And for some reason, I've been really hesitant to pull it out. I'm hoping that setting this up using the water bottle will be the thing that helps me drink more water. Because again, I've tried this water bottle. I tried keeping a giant cup with a straw next to my desk, and if I don't drink it quick enough, then I just think there's going to be dust in it. It's a thing. I regularly try to drink more water. So that's what I've done today. I do think that setting a goal and really trying to build a habit, that's one of the things that I do think is most similar to New Year's resolutions. Is I have this visual habit tracking apparatus. Last year it was an app called Tick. Oh no, maybe that was 2 years ago. And that visual representation, I get a lot of satisfaction, that little bit of dopamine when I'm able to kind of have it filled out and have it, be able to check it off at the end of the day. So I'm doing that with trying to sauna at least once a week. I'm going to aim for twice, because in the sauna, that's also a time that is really good meditation, quiet, reflection, rumination time. And sauning is very good for your health. And it's so convenient to sauna for me. It's so easy, it's so convenient, and I just got out of the sauna a few minutes ago, but prior to that, it's been months. Probably like 6 months. Maybe, you know what? I think I would say in 2025 I probably saunaed 3 times total. Twice, maybe. And that is one thing that I really, really thought I would take advantage of more, because I grew up with sauna. It feels very nostalgic to me, and it reminds me of being with my mom and my aunts, and I don't know. I thought I would sauna more. Another simple health thing that I have tried to reinvigorate is going on walks. Now, in 2025, I developed an allergy to the outside, and I'm not joking. I really did. It was in February when I was in Utkalvik, which is previously known as Barrow. It's on the tip of Alaska. And I went to go watch the fireworks. Me and my mom went to go watch the fireworks, which were scheduled, I think, at 6, and finally went off, I think, at 11, which, if it tells you anything about our culture, it tells you about me. I run late a lot. Flashbacks. I'm trying to come to terms with that and be okay with it, and turn down the dial of guilt and shame associated with my consistently being late, running behind. Anyhow, where was I going? Oh, so that was the first time that I actually had a reaction to the weather. It was very cold outside. I had my son's parka on, and so when we got back, you could very clearly see, like, the V. You could see where my skin was exposed to, whether it had hives. It was very puffed. I would add in visuals to this video, but I set the intention of this specific video of really being simple and not trying to spend a lot of time editing or what's the word I'm looking for? Polishing, scripting. I really just wanted to do one video that was a sort of stream of conscience where I just talk and talk about the new year and sort of my mindset right now, my plan, and how I'm feeling. I'm feeling really grateful. I'm feeling really grateful, really inspired, and happy. Anyhow, I'm allergic to the outside. I have been since then. I thought maybe it was just like a one-time thing because it was very cold. It was very cold. It was in the Arctic of Alaska, the tip top of Alaska. If you don't know where Utkalvik is, it's the very tip of Alaska on the ocean. And since then, I'll get like a bit of a rash. My skin will get itchy. I'll get hives, especially right here, but also on my neck, I'll get hives. And it's really uncomfortable. It can be itchy, uncomfortable, and just kind of poofy. Here's my theory on some of these things. Because I developed a pet allergy when I was probably 12 or 13. And I also started having car problems in like 2022, 2023. These things, I truly believe that there's a lot of that happens and things happen for a reason. I might be reaching here, but stay with me. I think that the reason that I had developed a pet allergy when I was younger was, one, I think children with trauma develop autoimmune diseases, but on a more spiritual or excuse or mental behavioral, I don't know what I'm trying to say. In this sense, I think that it was an excuse for me to be able to say no to going over to my best friend's house. She had like 3 cats, two cats and a dog, and I was highly allergic to her house. I think that might have been like an internal defense mechanism because I, by default, will put myself out in order to meet the kind of expectations or to make someone else happy or to accommodate someone else. And so in that sense, this is my overall arching thinking of this now. And I think with the car problems, I believe that I developed that sort of issue because I never really had car problems. I'd had really dependable vehicles for most of my life, and having vehicle issues, I think that gave me an excuse not to like say yes to social events, say yes to, because my job had become, there's a lot of invitations to go and attend events, to go and hang out with people, to go and do things outside. And I don't want to. I do. And so I say yes. And then I don't want to. I like being home. I like ruminating. I like brain rotting, just watching social media. I like watching movies. I like playing music. I just like being home, and I like being alone. Even having people over, while that's more convenient and I'm more open to it, it takes a level of mental and emotional energy, probably just mental, mostly mental energy, that pulls me away from sort of charging up to be able to do something really creative, like the way that I feel over the holiday break. I didn't make a bunch of plans and do a bunch of things. I did. It was the holidays. You know, you want to spend time with people you love. But that quiet time really enabled me to charge up enough to have the inspiration and the energy, both, to start creating and making a plan and doing something beautiful, which is what this channel is. So at this point with my YouTube channel, I'm kind of just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And that's why I'm making this video, which is purely just talking about my plan for this year, stream of consciousness, no script, no takeaways, no instructionals, no specific educational pieces, just my strategy with being gentle with myself, with what I've learned has and hasn't worked, with, I've lost track already, but with the being allergic to outside, I do think that is, in a sense, my subconscious, or maybe giving me a reason to not feel such guilt about spending more time outside, about going on a walk every day, about really pushing myself to do that, because I don't want to. I want to want to. I want to want to, but I don't want to. And I think that those are the themes with those overarching, because I truly do, when something's not going my way, when I'm not feeling lucky about something, I'm a really lucky person, I question what the meaning is behind it. If you've ever heard of burnt toast theory, that genre of thinking, that category of thinking, and those are my theories on those three major inconveniences in my life, is it's giving me an excuse to not do things that I don't want to do. With a vehicle, I, would be able to say, I don't think I'm going to be able to make that. My car is not, I'm a little bit worried about my car. My skin, I don't really want to go outside. I'll have an allergic reaction. When I was younger, the whole not wanting to go to my friend's house and kind of wanting her to come to me. Just a lot of theory. Those are just the main things that, when you talk about unlucky things, those are the main themes that I've really been like, this doesn't fit in with how lucky my life is, how blessed I am. I look at life through rose-colored glasses. I do know that, but I also know that I'm very lucky. I really am. And I'm blessed with circumstances, with people who love me, with amazing, money. I'm lucky with money. And I've always been lucky with vehicles. I've always really liked my vehicles. Anyhow, I'm doing a couple of different things that I want to sort of build a habit around. And those, it's going to be drink more water, do YouTube. My loose goal is every 2 weeks, I want to put out a video. And like I said, at this point, I'm just throwing different kinds of videos of throwing spaghetti at the wall. I've done a couple of ASMR videos, which granted, they're not great, but they did get a bunch of views. I did those because at some point I was looking for affirmation and manifestation and law of attraction ASMR videos. I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I decided to make one, and I was like, well, I'm making it anyways, maybe I'll make one and I'll put it on YouTube. So I then amped up the level of effort that I was putting into it so that it would be YouTubeable, shareable. So I have a couple of those, which I may continue to do those because, like I said, the ones that I did aren't great, and I do actually really like listening to ASMR, and I do really want a good affirmation, law of attraction, manifestation, positive vibes, hype you up kind of ASMR, or just like give you good feelings kind of ASMR, inspiring information. I don't know. And then I also did like the high production for me, the one that I put out in February of 2025. Again, really proud of it. I've learned, some since then. I have notes. The audio, I knew right away as I was editing it that I didn't do a great job with the audio. It was echoey. There was a couple of things that I see now that I would do differently, but I do really like how it turned out. But I don't have the capacity to keep that level up. And I know that because my plan was to make at least 4 videos. I was aiming for 6 of those types of videos, like the higher quality videos, like high production, high quality, lots of time, lots of effort. And I just didn't have it. I just didn't have the capacity for it. I also put out a couple of like talking heads like this, but those were scripted, geared towards like an educational piece, which both the ones that I did, if you look at them, they're not great. I understand that, and I'm glad that I made them, and I'm glad that I posted them because I've learned a lot from them. A couple of things that I upspeak. I end my sentences like a question, and I'm not a fan of that. I say and a lot. I say a lot. So I'm working on those things that I'm not a fan of when I watch back the videos. But those 2 videos, again, were geared towards like educational, I guess not the why am I so lucky. That one was just kind of a wing it, but I did have like a loose script. The script wasn't great. The execution wasn't great. I view those videos as really great learning videos. Again, with this one's not scripted at all. I didn't do any preparations. I will be editing out some of the things, but even then I might try and maybe just do a once through, because when I edit a video, if it's a 20-minute video, like I'll watch it, do an edit as I go, watch it, do an edit, more edits. It's just very time consuming. So a 20-minute video takes a lot of time in editing. So I'm going to really try to minimize that in this video and just do a once over, take out the pieces that make it too long. So I think I'm at 23 minutes at this point. Maybe I'll just not even edit it at all. No, I'm going to edit it. I couldn't. My need to polish things and have them the way that I want them to be. I know that I will be editing the video, and that's okay. That's okay. What else is my goal for this year? I really, really am hard on myself, and I've been working on that. That is like a slow and steady progress, but I think that this year is definitely, I'm feeling good about it. I'm feeling good about being able to catch myself when I'm being too hard on myself. I'm also feeling like my learning experience from the pet allergy, the vehicle's not working, so I'm about to get my vehicles both fixed and ready to, I will have dependable vehicles very shortly. I'm taking the perceived learnings from having those challenges. My goal is to be really, really intentional and very, very strict with boundaries. Don't say yes to things, social gatherings, really, really limit that because it takes so much out of me. Limit, I guess mostly just boundaries, but there's a lot of things that go into that I just am so instinctively generous, and then I regret it later. I don't regret it in a sense of like I don't want to be generous. I regret it in a sense of how taxing it is on me and how willing I am to accommodate others without paying attention to the impact that it's having on me. I also set up this is the new setup for recording videos. If you see my other videos, that right there, that tree and that thing, that's the background, because I was recording at my desk. And when I did that, I'd have to like move things out of the way, my work stuff, and set up to record, versus I've had this desk over here for I don't even know how long. Anyhow, it's just been sitting here and ready to be turned into a recording area. And the back is really nice. It's really turned out. I'm really excited about this setup. Yeah, so maybe those are the 3 main goals. Make videos consistently. And just try, right now, again, just trying out different kinds of videos and seeing where I can find a balance between quality or value and capacity. Because I want to have value, but I have, so YouTube videos, figuring out a niche, figuring out my video style, figuring out what works for me. Because at this point, I, have done the scripts that I've done so far have just been kind of like bullet points-ish. And then this one is like no script. And then I'm also going to try like a full-on word for word script and see if that makes a difference and see if it's likable, I guess. I really had dismissed the idea of doing a word for word script for a while. And I just tend to go off on tangents when I do like the bullet points, because it's like, this is what I want to talk about. And then I remember 13 things that I want to talk about that in that category. So just like this, I haven't been able to make it to number 2. So first, YouTube, be consistent with videos. Second, trying to figure out how to drink more water and set these things up so I drink more water. Third, this is a very, very loose third. I almost wouldn't include it in the list. Maybe it'll be a bonus one. I'll wait. And then third is boundaries. Being really, really solid with boundaries and making sure that I'm tending to myself. I'm filling my own cup. And when I have something to give, that's when I give, not really trading off my own energy and shorting myself in an effort to please others. So those are the 3 main aspirations for this year. And then like the bonus 4th one, of course, is the sauna. I have regular and consistent things that I try to aim for. One is to do like 50 jumps in the morning to get my lymphatic fluid. It did stop recording. I sat there and talked for another 3 to 4 minutes thinking that it was still recording. Okay. I don't remember I don't know if I talked about it before that happened, but I will say that the last thing is a vision board. A vision board is something that I tend to do at the beginning of the year, but not just at the beginning of the year. It's something I work on year round when I come up with something else that I want to manifest. When I come up with another goal, like it's a live board. If I didn't get it earlier, I said working document, and then I was embarrassed and annoyed at myself for using like work terminology like that. So live board is the term that I'm going with. Again, it's not a once a year activity. I definitely keep up with that throughout the rest of the year, but I do think that in the new year is really when I sort of do a reset or kind of like evaluate everything and kind of start a new board. Just a regenerated focus, just like going through it and doing like a deep clean. I didn't even do that, really. I did in a sense that I created a new board, but it's very general. When I make a vision board, I try to be specific, because in manifesting, it's like be very specific, but also make sure to be clear this or something better, because sometimes we don't even know what we want. Just like when I manifested this house, I was very specific about what I wanted, and I got something better. I'm really, really glad, because the house that almost to a T, what I had written down for my manifestation, came on the market right after we put in an offer for this house, and I took a look at it, and I definitely like this house better than that one. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. Well, they pointed out something that I'd like to dial down is I make that sound a lot. But on that note, I think that's really all I have to say about moving into the new year. I just want to be gentle with myself. I want to take care of myself. I want to prioritize myself. And I want to be creative. I really enjoy being creative. And I want to drink more water. So, with that, sending so much love